Well, Sonic Adventure fans, I think we lost today. It feels like it's 2020 again. Out of nowhere, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes are at the forefront of discussion. Unfortunately, this time, it seems like everything that we feared about prospective remakes of these games is now coming true. And that is that they're not happening. Currently, we're in kind of this weird spot with Sonic right now. It's kind of like considered a down year, technically. I mean, 2024 was the big fearless year of Shadow. We got the movie, we got all these updates to these games, we got DLC, we got Sonic Prime finale, we got like a ton of stuff, and then it culminated with Sonic and Shadow Generations. But now in 2025, we are right before the start of the 35th anniversary for Sonic. The expectation is that at this point next year, we'll probably know what the next mainline Sonic game is going to be, and by all accounts, it's probably going to be the follow-up sequel to Sonic Frontiers. So we have 2025, which leaves us with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, as well as Sonic Rumble, allegedly. So that's kind of what we got and what we're working with. So everyone's kind of looking forward towards the future for one of those more like main Sonic titles. And given the fact that Sega wants to do a bunch of remasters and remakes, as evidenced by the fact that they did Sonic Colors, they did Sonic Origins, they did Sonic Generations, they said as long as the games are selling well, they're going to do some remakes and remasters or whatever the case may be. A lot of the buzz and speculation with respect to that has really been centered around a Sonic Heroes remake, but over the years, starting since like 2020 and honestly times before that, people have also discussed remaking the Sonic Adventure games. It's like with all the remakes and remasters they've already done, wouldn't you want to follow up with the most requested one, which is the adventure games? Well, Takashi Iizuka recently discussed that in an interview that was primarily focused around discussing the upcoming Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I mean, we're looking ahead to the future, but we still have this one in front of us that we have to talk about as well. So Shaq News recently did an interview with Takashi Iizuka talking about the crossovers, talking about Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and of course the question came up about adventure remakes. The answer, of course, was not what everyone wanted to hear, but I want to talk about his response because I do find it interesting. I'm almost just like so torn on this, you know? So here is Takashi Iizuka's statement. Let's roll the clip and then we'll respond, react, and analyze.
Sonic, I ask you every year. Sonic Adventure 2, fantastic game. I know you made Sonic Adventure 2 Battle a few years later, a while later, came to the GameCube and all the other platforms. Can you tell us anything about a Sonic Adventure 2 remake or a remaster or re-release? I love that game. I want to see it remastered.
Yeah, I do hear that a lot. I really am appreciative for everyone who likes the Sonic Adventure series. But when I think about, what it would take to kind of bring that game up to the standards and expectations of what the modern gaming audience would want, I think it would be about as much time and energy as it would to make a new title. So part of me is thinking maybe I should just make a brand new title, and that's why there's currently no plans.
The Sonic 4th movie is coming out soon, so we can clearly expect to see
So there you have it. That is a pretty crazy statement in of itself. And at first you look at him and it's like, are you crazy? Like, yeah, everyone wants a Sonic Adventure remake. Like, why wouldn't you do that? And then you start to think about it a little bit. Make no mistake, if you're a fan of the channel, you know that like the adventure games are personally my favorite Sonic games ever made. But at the same time, it's like, I do kind of understand his reasoning with all the resources and time that it would take for Sonic Team to remake this game. At that point, you might be looking at just making a new Sonic game altogether. But I think it's a little bit deeper than that because you could always just like outsource it to another studio and then still focus on mainline Sonic games. But I do think on some level, the problem with remaking the Sonic Adventure games lies a little bit deeper than just like the simple, oh, it costs money to make. You might be asking yourself, why did Sonic Colors get a remaster? Well, look at the Metacritic score. It's a 78, 8 out of 10 user score. Pretty much a universally well-liked game for the most part. There's some detractors out there, but ultimately it's like kind of a slam dunk layup. That is, of course, until it's not, because we all know what happened with Sonic Colors Ultimate. It was a little bit of a disastrous launch. You had botch performance, you had glitches, you had weird visuals. Sonic Colors Ultimate was certainly not a smooth re-release. So the first prospective problem that you run into with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes is the possibility that Sega could just screw it up. It wouldn't be the first time they've done it. Their track record with ports and remasters is not necessarily great, to say the least. But even if Sega knocks it out the park and there's no problems with the remaster or remake and it's perfect, there's another problem with the adventure games, and that is the core fundamental flaws of the games in of themselves. The reason why in this decade we kicked it off with a Sonic Colors remaster is so obvious. The gameplay style for this game does not diverge at all. It's one consistent playstyle throughout, and people generally liked it, so that's why they went with the safe option with Sonic Colors. Let's take a look at the Sonic Adventure games. In Sonic Adventure 1, you have multiple playstyles. You have Sonic the Hedgehog himself. When people talk about how good this game is, they're usually referring to this as far as the gameplay goes. You have Tails, which is a variation of Sonic's gameplay, but but ultimately the levels play a lot different. You have Knuckles, which is treasure hunting. I mean, how many people complain about treasure hunting? You have Amy, which has a similar objective to Sonic, but plays a lot different as well. You have Big the Cat. How many people hate Big the Cat's fishing? And then you have the shooting stages of E102 Gamma. Sonic Team would have to make a very tough decision with regards to the playstyles that people don't like. Are you going to bring back Big the Cat's fishing? A lot of people genuinely hated it. Personally, for me, it's very easy. It's not that bad. You can beat a story in like 15 minutes. But are you going to alter his gameplay? Are you going to remove it? Are you going to take it out? Are you going to make changes? What happens when you make a change? You now sacrifice the core integrity of what it means to be a remaster and capturing the faithfulness of the original version of the game. If you add stuff to alter or remove these gameplay styles, you run that risk of angering people. Also, if you bring it back, you run the risk of angering people that don't like it. So that creates a very complex decision for Sonic Team. You also have to ask yourself the question like, okay, are we replacing the old voice actors with the new modern cast? That'll probably ruffle some feathers. Are we bringing back the shooting stages in SA2? Are we eliminating the hub world in SA1? Bazooka kind of says it best. It becomes a much bigger task to remake these games than people think. In the modern day and age, especially like younger Sonic fans, they might look at the adventure games and say, hey, like we don't really like these. Sonic Team has definitely divided their audience into several different buckets over the last couple years. Like we went from classic and then we went to adventure and then we went to boost and now we're doing open zone. So it's like you have different buckets for your fans. You're not going to be able to please them all, especially with a game like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, which have 3 to 6 different playstyles. And how do I know this? Well, I'm a YouTuber myself. I do the same exact thing on my own channel. I have people that like watching my gameplay videos, like me doing a challenge or something like that. There's some people on my channel that would probably only click on a Sonic news video, and I know that because I do the same to other people. Some people that are subscribed to this channel have probably only watched my short form videos and have probably never even seen a long form video from me even recommended on their homepage. There's some people on the channel subscribed that only like my video essays. There's exact terminology for this, and it's called audience buckets. The reason why I personally try to appeal to everyone is because I want to pump out as much content as I possibly can. And for most people, I wouldn't recommend it because there's a big risk, but if you can get it to work, and it really does pay off. The same exact thing can definitely apply to Sonic Team and all the games they've created over the last 35 years and the amount of times that they've tried to reinvent the wheel with the gameplay style. Which is why even if they get it right and it's not a Sonic Colors Ultimate situation and the quality of the remaster is good, the core fundamental game in of itself still has some flaws and divided audience takes that could certainly sway Sonic Team away from even touching these games to begin with. Like even the parts of the game that are good have a little bit of flaws. Like you have some of the glitches, you got the janky camera here and there. It's not perfect. So while we spent a lot of time talking about Sonic Team's mindset and things that could quote unquote go wrong, these are like my 2 favorite Sonic games ever. So we should talk about the things that could go right. Make no mistake, the Sonic Adventure series is absolutely iconic. There's a reason why I love it so much, and it's not only because I like the gameplay of the game, I also love everything about the total package. There's a reason why Sonic Movie 3 adapted elements of Sonic Adventure 2, and that's because it's one of the most iconic Sonic games ever. So like the influence of the Sonic Adventure series extends way far beyond just the actual games in of themselves. So what does that mean? I think announcements of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes would absolutely break the internet. It would extend far beyond the Sonic community. People from 20 years ago that grew up playing SA2 that have extremely fond memories of it, but maybe haven't touched Sonic since, maybe they even went and saw the movies, they would definitely receive the news that we're getting remakes with unanimous praise. I have no doubt about that. I've always said for a long time, I don't want Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 ports or remasters. I'd want something more akin to like the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, where they basically fully remade these games. And what did these games do? Well, they got really good praise and good review scores for the most part. And also in general, I think those remakes just look incredible. Imagine Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 with that modern touch up. Like they animate the cutscenes a little bit better. The graphics are improved. They fix the jankiness and just make the game a much more polished product, because that is certainly criticism that people have. Just seeing Sonic Adventure in that modern light would be so incredible. But I had to double check this when I saw, but as of 2024, it sold 20 million units, which is absolutely insane. For a non-Nintendo 3D platformer product, like these numbers are absolutely absurd. Relative to scale, I think if you look at Sonic Frontiers, it sold 4.5 or 5 million units, if I'm not mistaken. So I think the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes could certainly top those numbers or get pretty close to that, which I think would be considered a massive success for Sega. So I think like from their end, they definitely would do well with these games in terms of the sales. It just really depends on them nailing like the core fundamentals of it, because these games were definitely outrageous prestigious and ambitious and probably products of their time. Like, you just kind of had to be there for when these games were out. So what is the right answer to this? Well, I think right now Sonic Team needs to focus on the 35th anniversary and nailing the next mainline Sonic game. Sonic and Shadow Generations was good, but it's half remaster and half like mini campaign. So the next mainline Sonic game has to absolutely nail it and honestly build on what they did in Frontiers and Shadow Generations, because if it doesn't do well, all of the little wins that we've been stacking up will be forgotten about very quickly and the fans will turn against Sonic. The next thing they need to do is pop out a good mainline sequel to Frontiers. After we're riding that high, then we start to think about what we can do with remakes. As a matter of fact, they might even do Sonic Heroes. So maybe see if they could get Sonic Heroes right, and then we could take a look at the adventure games. What do you guys think about all this? Where do you guys stand?